So stop looking for more unless you're looking in a mirror, because it's about time for you to see clearly that you are who you've been looking for. And that empty feeling you got, that hole in your chest, you only got that feeling because you think you're not blessed with everything you need. You see, we live in a consumerist society, which means they need you to buy stuff. And the easiest way to sell it is to tell you you're not enough. Buy this car, you'll get girls. Buy this bra, you'll get guys. And we're seeing it so much that we start believing these lies. But the truth is, the makeup they're selling to make you feel prettier is the same makeup you buy to stop feeling shittier about this lie they keep telling you that you are not enough. And what about the movies we watch, all the shows on TV? The more I watch, the more I see I need you to complete me. And yes, love is the answer, love is the key, but if you can't love yourself, how can you ever love me? And loving yourself, what does that even mean? Like massages and selfies and that sort of thing? Because the more I think about it, the more it feels weird. I've always been taught that self-love was something to be feared. I'm supposed to love myself, but how do I even do that? Well, I got a trick that I picked up from a friend who noticed that I was quick to defend her when she would say something negative about herself. She would say, "I'm so dumb," and I'd say, "You're so brilliant." She'd say, "I'm so weak," and I'd say, "You're so resilient." And when she said, "I feel ugly," and I said, "You look beautiful," she asked me why I was so dutifully filling up her cup constantly and yet treating my own cup so irresponsibly.
I love it.
Because when I looked in the mirror, my voice was quite clear. "You're ugly, you're too thin, your hairline's receding, you got a pimple on your chin." And that was when she gave me a piece of advice that changed my life. She gave me a hug and she said, "Treat yourself like someone you loved. Treat yourself like someone you loved." Now, I had been standing, but I needed to be sitting.
Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Take the time to go ahead and fill yourself up with love. I love Nano's call this morning, right? And I feel like this is something that happens to so many of us in life. This is why when you pay attention getting on an airplane, what do they say with the oxygen mask? When the oxygen mask drops, who do we go ahead and put the mask on? It takes being able to put it on ourselves first so we can go ahead and be able to help other people. So phenomenal message for today. I love the start to the morning already. So let's go ahead and dive into a little, right? Facts, the audio was lit. Let's dive into a little bit of gratitude before we go ahead and get into today on practicing self-love, right? I've got 3 powerful bullet points that everybody can go ahead and tactically put into their day to really go ahead and maximize what is inside, right? And we're going to go through the 4 quadrants, right, to go ahead and really get self-love into alignment. So what is everybody grateful for coming into today? Grateful to be alive, grateful for the mind, for the body, for the spirit, grateful to be alive, grateful for each and every single one of you. I'm so happy and grateful for all of the abundance that is flowing to and through every single one of you. And this is a month, November, to remember, and we are going to be able to look back and say these were the times that we set ourselves up for 2023 and beyond. So let's go ahead and get into it today, family. I've got a great topic. This is a big one because I believe this is one of the biggest issues with most people. Believe it or not, it's nothing externally. A lot of the battle comes from within. So I love this topic. So let's go ahead and get into it for today, family. So when we're talking about self-love, okay, the first thing I want to go ahead and get into, right, is that I'm not good enough. Okay, 3 things that really block creating self-love internally. Okay, number 1 is going to be I'm not good enough. Okay, love. I want you guys to think about this. It is about a give and receive. When you know and believe you are enough, it is a complete game changer, right? The way Sean put it this morning, he said, I want you to think about love like this, okay? A lot of people, right? Imagine there's a stove in front of us, okay? And the stove, when we open it, love finally comes out. Well, you know what's funny? A lot of us are standing in front of the stove, waiting for the stove to go ahead and open us up so we can actually feel the love and finally be happy with life. Well, here's the truth. A lot of us, we're looking out externally and life is the stove and we're waiting for life to go ahead and make us feel love so we can feel whole. So the biggest thing I had to realize is, guess what? It all starts from within. Being able to look in the mirror, and even though we might not be exactly where we want to be yet, We love who we are because we know what's inside and we know we're destined to actually become something great. So that's number one. Okay, number two is everybody likes to feel love and everybody also likes to feel safe. In fact, that's how our brain is designed. It's designed to go ahead and either survive and keep us alive. Okay, but here's the difference. We're looking for an other half to go ahead and make us seem whole. This was big this morning. He said, we're looking for another half to go ahead and make us seem whole. So I can relate this to so many parts of our life. This could be whether it be going to the gym. This could be whether building your body. This could be building your social media. This could be building your business. All of these different areas, even building a relationship with a significant other, waiting for somebody else to make you feel whole, I've realized is one of the biggest detrimental things that anybody can do. Grant Cardone talks about it best. He said, I love my wife. I love my family. But two things is my connection with my creator and being able to love myself. That's the first two things that I love the most. Why? Because if I don't love myself, how can I go out and provide? How can I go out and create an immense amount of impact? 11:11 paint your vision. So this is big. This is something that I had to come to terms with as well. And I believe if everybody can go and implement even just a little touch of this, this is going to change the game because now you're allowing yourself to put on your mask first before we go out and help other people. So this is huge. And last but not least, number three, the third blocker. A lot of times when it comes to creating self-love, he was talking about the I can't connect. I'm different because I can't connect type syndrome. Okay, how many of you feel like you're different? How many of you feel like you're completely unique and you stick out in some way, shape, or form? You're not alone. I'm right there with you. Misfit, weirdo, out there, unicorn. Facts. Yes, I'm definitely with you on that. So here's the truth, okay? In a world full of 7.7 billion people, you're meant to stick out. You're meant to be different, okay? Accept and know that you're lovable exactly the way that you are, right? You're a little bit goofy. Guess what? That's what makes you you, right? Your humorous side, your funny side. This is what makes you you, okay? So our mind, a lot of times, it likes to go back to the familiar. We're used to being maybe made fun of. We're used to being able to be told no for getting out there and shining a little bit too bright. Well, here's the deal. Now in 2022, there's never been a better time to get paid to be you, to get paid to use your voice, to actually understand that you can get paid for the value that you put in and put out to the marketplace. Okay. So these are words that even for me, I needed to hear this morning. So I love this part of the training. So let's go ahead and get through the visual portion of today real quick. And I've touched on this before, but it's a great reminder. So if you go ahead and get your box, if you go ahead and draw your box out, we can go ahead and draw it into four corners real quick. I'm going to finish up in about 5. You ready? The top left part of your box is going to be the potential. The top right is going to be our actions. The bottom left is going to be results. And the bottom right is going to be our beliefs. Okay? So I want you to think about this, okay? The top left is the potential. So a lot of questions start coming, right, when we start talking about potential, because here's what I've realized. Everybody has potential. I can walk by most people in the street at the gym and say, wow, they'd be a great fit. They'd be absolutely phenomenal at what it is that we do. But here's the difference. The difference between knowing and doing is two completely different things, okay? So how did I end up realizing what the real truth is? If you really want to understand somebody's potential, you're gonna learn it by the time that we get to the end of these 4 boxes. Okay. So the bottom left is going to be results. The top right is actions. So if we're looking at the bottom left, the results is just a reflection of what? The results, believe it or not, comes back to a reflection of now getting into the bottom right, because this is by far the most important corner out of all 4 of these. Neno even touched on it this morning. To really master self-love, to really be able to fill yourself up, it comes with having a different level of belief. In 5 years, the biggest thing I realized from chairmen and educators, one, they have a different level of urgency. The urgency is different. They understand that time waits on nobody. Yes, belief, right? Their sense of urgency. And number 2 is their level of belief. Their level of belief ends up correlating because they understand that time waits on nobody, and the level that we cap ourselves on is as far as we're going to allow ourselves to go ahead and get. And this is why it came down for many end up, as years go by, you start to see why so many end up falling off. Big time, the DIY method. So many people end up getting to a certain level and they think, oh, I've mastered trading, I can do it by myself. I understand the business. I don't need to call my mentor. I don't need to go ahead and touch base. I can go ahead and do everything by myself. Well, this comes with level of belief. This comes with losing sight of the vision. This comes with actually creating egos, right? All of these factors play a big role when it came to identifying where we're at in all four of these levels. Okay, so this is when Sean got into the difference this morning. Okay, leadership is all about questions, and it's not about directions. So what statements have we said that's been limiting our potential in the past week, in the past couple months? And it couldn't even be just speaking. It goes down to even the subconscious thinking, right? Blowing up my mentor. I love it. So even the subconscious thinking, Neno talked about 3 types of minds this morning: the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious mind. All 3 of those are massive. And today we're really getting into the conscious mind and also the subconscious and even into the superconscious. All of these, believe it or not, play a role. Okay. So here's what I want to go ahead and leave today with. 3 questions, right? We say questions will take us anywhere that we want to go. If not me, then who? Okay. So if not you, then who? If not now, then when? If not this, then what? These are all 3 things that over the years, people ask me, D, why are you still going 5 years later? I look at these questions all day long. If I'm not going to be the one to take the time to really learn these skill sets, who's going to be the one to break generational curses out of my family? Because when I look around, there's not many other people doing it. Okay. If not now, then when? How many times have we been waiting for the perfect day to go out and say, you know what, today's the day. I'm ready to go ahead and cut off the bad habits. I'm ready to go ahead and step into the highest version of myself. And for everybody in the dream team, you've all done that, right? How many days is everybody on your journey? Let's see. How many days is everybody on? Let's see. And this is a perfect example. So we can go ahead and test your level of belief. Because if we're looking at the 4 boxes, my question for everybody today, to go ahead and wrap up today, if you were to be convicted right now, okay, we talk about if you've ever been arrested, if you were to get convicted right now and we were to go to trial, what would be the evidence that you are chasing after your greatness? What would be the evidence they'd be able to bring to trial to be able to convict you as proof of you going after your greatness? And that's the biggest question I really want to leave you with, because for today, you guys can go back and you can see the notes, you can see the document, you can see the growth documented on social media. So I want you to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and ask yourself, as if they were looking at you, would they be able to convict you for what it is that you're going after, right? It's one thing to go ahead and talk about it, but real faith, real belief comes down to one word. To really know how strong your level of belief is, day 98, let's go, comes down to one word: the levels of action that we take. Regardless of what anybody says, regardless of how many people lose the vision, regardless of what happens externally on the news, with the markets, with FTX, what type of action are we taking? And this is going to dictate the level of results that end up coming into the future, right? Tier, Neno talked about it this morning. Thoughts create our emotions activate our actions end up leading to our results. So our thoughts essentially comes to what? Our belief. So most of the time, we read the books, we hear the audios, we hear the trainings, but you know what's funny? We hear a lot of the same similar things over and over again. It's just said in a little bit different of a way. So maybe one time it can sink in at a level that maybe it didn't hit before. So today, I heard it at a different level. So family, I love you. I appreciate you. Here's what I know. Your level of belief is growing by the day. And I can see you by showing up in the chat. I can see you by putting out your content on social media consistently. So let me tell you, even if nobody's commenting, nobody's liking, I promise you they're watching, and you are leading by example. You are opening the door for so many to go ahead and step into their greatness because you made the decision to go ahead and step into yours. So family, I love you. I appreciate you. Let's go out and have a phenomenal week this week. November to remember. We've got a lot of value packed into today. Monday momentum. Get ready for the speaker tonight. You guys are going to absolutely love it. But go out and have a great day. It is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Go ahead and drop some 7s down below if you got some value. And I will see you guys at the top, because the bottom is way too bottom. Let's go.